right. Oh, me. I need a break. That hospital. I was just over there visiting another new cancer patient that had just been diagnosed. Wow. Sometimes it's really hard to talk to a family like that, but I feel like God has called me to this particular profession. It's hard, like I said, but it's so rewarding, and I love working in the oncology field. And like I said, it's like God has to call you to it. My sister thinks I'm crazy because how can you work with cancer patients all the time? It's not easy at times, but it's very rewarding. Oh, my next appointment is supposed to be here in just a few minutes. I wonder the questions that she's going to ask me. Every time I meet with someone, I pray, Lord, give me the right things to say. And somehow it all works out. You know, I've been an oncology counselor for almost 18 years. That's a long time. And I studied many years ago when cancer wasn't so well. There weren't a lot of treatments for cancer. There was one chemotherapy, and they had cobalt radiation, which essentially burned your body. There wasn't much hope. And when you step on the oncology ward, you would sense that. But today, it is remarkable the amount of research and development that they've come along with. Cancer is now treated as targeted therapies. We're learning about genetics of it. We're able to stop tumor growth right at the tumor. There's particular chemo protocols that we utilize, and there's so much hope now. And that's what I tell my patients at first. They really want to feel that hope, that God is with them, that they're going to be able to get through this, and I'm going to help them along the way. That's what they want to be reassured of, especially at first. Do you know, right today in America, there are over 16.1 million cancer survivors? That's amazing. They are survivors. And now we say in oncology that you're a survivor from the point of diagnosis on. And that's really true, isn't it? You are a survivor from that very day. And I always tell patients that. Don't worry. This is what you will go through, and we're going to help you along the road of survivorship. There is hope. There is always hope. It's a wonderful message, and like I said, I feel honored and blessed to help these people along that road. It's amazing to me to think about the times that I've been with families, the different circumstances that have surrounded family dynamics, because cancer is indeed a family disease. It affects everybody in some way or another. It changes roles. It changes your perspective on what you have to do. Even little kids understand that something is not quite right here. I'm always a proponent of telling the children the truth at their age level, because they're going to understand that mommy or daddy is different. They may lose their hair. They might not feel so well. So if it's a little toddler, you can teach him how to bring the blanket or a glass of water to mommy. Or you can encourage them to recite a lullaby that they like. Or older children, you can encourage them to help in the kitchen a little bit more, take out the trash, or actually just kind of be good for one time in your life. It's hard, though, sometimes. Working with the doctors sometimes is hard, too. You know doctors. As a matter of fact, have you heard that joke about physicians? Working with 21 physicians like I used to, now I work in a hospital. There's a lot of physicians there. But I told them this joke, and maybe you've heard it before. There was a man. He died. He went up to heaven, and he talked to St. Peter. And St. Peter explained to him, up here, there's no designation, no priorities, no favoritism. That's what St. Peter told him. So he showed him around heaven, and one day they were standing in line at lunch, and all of a sudden, a limousine came driving up. A guy came out, and he was dressed in a doctor's uniform and had a stethoscope on. And the guy punched him and said, I thought there was no favoritism here. And he said, oh, don't worry. That's just God. He thinks he's a doctor. But anyway, sometimes it's hard working with the physicians. But most of the time, they're very concerned with their patients' comfort levels, what they need. But they would shoot it over to me when a patient would start crying. They don't know how to handle that too well. That's what I was doing back in 2008. It was a wonderful time. I had been on staff for almost 8 years, and I loved my job. I was one of those few people that got up every morning, and I just loved going to work. I know that sounds pretty unusual, because most people just dread getting up and go plop one foot in front of the other. But I knew that every day was going to be different, that there was going to be something that I could help in a lifetime event, in something that they would struggle with. And like I said, over and over again, I would pray for them and how I would impact their family and how God could somehow be recognized and glorified. But in 2008, I had a wreck. My little car that was paid for. I hated it because you never get the money back from insurance, at least not the money to go out and buy a brand new beautiful car. I've always wanted a convertible. But unbeknownst to me, I got $5,000, and that wouldn't buy a convertible. After that wreck, I wasn't hurt very much, but my neck was sore. But I went along with my business. About 6 weeks later, can you believe this? I was laid off. I'd never been laid off. I'd never lost a job at all. How could they do this? Well, reimbursement issues from Medicare, insurance issues, and you know what the Congress has been doing lately. Whew. But there was money problems. And unfortunately, they let the emotional person that led patients down the road to recovery off. I argued my way out the door, believe me, because I was thinking the needs of the patients and what they and their families relied upon me to give them. I'm not trying to blow my own horn, but patients really do need that emotional guidance from day to day. They really do. And they would call me during those times that they would have such difficulty. After that, I started looking for a job. Even in North Carolina, I wanted to move to the beach, and my husband did also. So as I was planning some different job interviews, I happened to be at my sister-in-law's house. I was taking a shower, and as you're supposed to, I did a breast self-exam. Whoops, I found a lump. No, that can't be real. I washed myself again. I reached up there real tentatively. Oops, it's still there. It's not gone away. So I get out, I go to my interview. I don't think about it at all. I'm in denial. I always told my patients, don't be in denial. Assert yourself. Assert the different protocols that you're going to be able to do and get. And here I was, right smack dab in denial. I decided, as the time progressed, and interviews kept coming up, and I kept going to them, I wasn't going to recognize that this was anything going on. Well, about a week or so later, I was in the shower again, and guess what? It was there. That lump was still there. Oh my goodness, I thought to myself, that's when the thoughts really started wandering. And I knew, this isn't going to go away. But it was close to Thanksgiving, and I decided, well, everyone in the family is going to get together. It's going to be a wonderful event. My kids love Thanksgiving. All the nieces and nephews were getting together at the beach. It was going to be beautiful. I wanted to go to Thanksgiving so badly. My son had graduated from West Point. He was stationed way out in El Paso, Texas, and in a few months he was going to the Middle East. So I wanted him to come to Thanksgiving that year. It was very, very important to me. My daughter loves Thanksgiving. As a matter of fact, she loves it better than any holiday, even Christmas. I like Christmas, of course, but she loves the warmth, tradition, and we would always go around the table and talk about what we're thankful for. It's very moving, and the whole family cries. But she waits for a week to talk about what she is truly thankful for. My daughter is a sophomore. No, a junior. No, wait. I think she's a senior. No, she's been taking so many courses. I don't know how many courses she's finished by now, but she's taken enough, I think, to get her PhD. At least I hope so. All that money. Anyway, I digress.